If you're an ESTP or wondering if you might be one, I want to give you a clear, no fluff breakdown of what that really means through the 4 Myers-Briggs dichotomies. Now that's that 4-letter code, ESTP. By the end of this video, you'll see how each letter comes alive in the ESTP personality and why understanding this can help you create more clarity and confidence in your life. Okay, let's get started. Let's unpack the ESTP personality. I'm going to use just a few of the cards from our personality card deck. By the way, you should pick up one of these card decks. They're fantastic. They've got all sorts of personality configurations you can use to explain things. I'll show you in just a moment here. But let's go ahead and use this card deck to talk about ESTP. So what does ESTP even mean? Let's break this down in a visual and practical way. E stands for extrovert, S stands for sensor, T stands for thinker, and P stands for perceiver. ESTP. Now these are just the dichotomies. This is a label. It's not a map of your personality. Now I'm going to give you some things here that you can use to actually improve your life, but there's other videos we've recorded for ESTPs I'd love for you to watch where we go even deeper into this. But this is just the first starting point. So we start with extrovert. What would the alternative to this be? It would be introvert. We kind of have a sense of this in our culture. It doesn't mean you just stay at home with your cats if you're introverted and you just love people if you're extroverted. There's a lot of extroverts that don't necessarily like to be extroverted around people. So it doesn't mean people person. It just means you're extroverted. It's not just about being outgoing. It's about energy. ESTPs get energy by engaging in the outer world. As an ESTP, you may know this about yourself. Other people are like, wow, how is that possible? It drains me to go in the outside world. But for you, it actually can be generative. It can make you feel really empowered. Think about like being plugged into a wall socket. Action, conversation, and new experiences keep a battery charged for you. The extroverted world really juices you up and makes you feel alive, and it gives you energy. Let's just assume you are in a career or a role where you have to sit still. Maybe you're in school or you're in a job where you've got to sit at a desk for long periods of time. That can drain your energy as an ESTP. But getting up and moving and being active, it can clarify your thinking and give you energy. It's more natural for you to do that. Give yourself permission to be in a lot more movement and more in the outside world engaged. That is a very good thing for you. It will make you feel alive. The next letter is S. And this stands for sensor. This is more about how you take in information in your world, how you're perceiving everything in the way you move through the world. The alternative to this would be an intuitive. You as a sensor are more tuned into the actual physical, what's happening in the here and now. You basically even drive your life with this sensation part of you. Reality is your canvas. The world around you is what is real, and you love to be engaged with it. You notice details that other people miss, whether it's body language, like work in a negotiation, or just watching people in a party or an event, or maybe it's a vibe, right? You just tune into the vibe of a room. You'd rather be present here and doing something active than be thinking about something in an abstraction. That's just not as fun as being engaged. Let's talk about the third letter, T. This stands for thinker. The alternative to this would be feeler. Doesn't mean that you don't have any feelings. Every human has thoughts and feelings. Thinking is your decision-making part of you. This is how you make your best decisions. If you perceive your world and you learn by being in the environment and engaged in the outer world, this thinking part is how you make the decisions that are good for you going forward. But that means that choices are filtered through logic, not necessarily emotion or just like a vibe or something. You want to know what is logical, what's consistent, what's at a belief level, what's untrue. You like distinctions and definitions and knowing the truth of something. This is how you like to make your decisions. It would be very difficult for you to want to make decisions if you don't have enough information. Competency is very important for you usually as an ESTP because you want to be informed and competent around the things that you know, and you want to make wise decisions based on logic and fact. Now, sometimes this isn't always welcomed in the world. Sometimes you get social conditioning that says you're being mean. When you speak the truth, you just observe something. Your decision making says it's logical that that's true, and you speak it into the world. Sometimes people say that's socially inappropriate to speak truth. And so you may learn over time to not use this part of yourself as much or bring it to the forefront. But it's important that you do, because this is, again, how you make your best decision. Don't ignore this part of you, this thinking process. Let's talk about that final letter, P. It stands for perceiver. The other term, you might have heard this, it would be J for judger. This is one that's a little more complex for people to understand. Usually, if you read something on the internet, it'll say something around perceivers are unorganized and judgers are organized. And that's very reductionist and very oversimplified. What it actually means is where you prefer to be organized. You need freedom out here. If you were too structured and organized in the outer world, that would rob you of freedom. It would rob you of options and rob you of choice. So as a perceiver, what you've chosen to do is keep your freedom in the outside world, which can look messy to other people or chaotic sometimes to other people, but it's not chaotic because the organization is inside of you. Your thoughts are organized. Your beliefs are organized. Your logic is organized. And when it's organized, that means you can improvise with whatever's being asked of you in the outside world. I'm also a perceiver, so I do the same thing, just in a little bit of a different way. So I think it's a really powerful thing that perceivers can improvise and be engaged in the real moment. When you see yourself through the lens of ESTP, the confusion can lift. You stop wondering why you don't fit someone else's mold, and you can start leaning into your natural strengths. Most people stop at the 4 letters, ESTP, but a label is not a map. Labels don't tell us how our mind works. Imagine trying to navigate a city. Like if you're going to New York City, just navigating an entire city with the name New York City on a label. Like that's not going to help you. There's no street signs, no landmarks, no directions. When you stop at ESTP, you miss the entire personality map. The personality car model is that map. And when you understand it, you stop being trapped by stereotypes and start steering your life with clarity. So to get started, I want you to imagine your mind as a 4-passenger car. And I'm going to use our personality card deck to help demonstrate and illustrate this. It's a fun visual way just to kind of do that. This right here, we've got a driver, co-pilot, 10-year-old, and 3-year-old. And I'm going to take these cards, these what are technically called cognitive function cards, and I'm going to lay this out in the same pattern. What's nice about these cards, they've got descriptions. I'm going to put sensation down for the driver, co-pilot is accuracy, 10-year-old is harmony, and perspectives is the 3-year-old. We've got some symbology, we've got nicknames and technical names, and then descriptions and definitions here about what these things are. So your driver of sensation is all about taking in the real world right now with sharp awareness. ESTPs tend to live in the moment. You're always scanning for opportunities, noticing details others miss. Its strengths are quick action, adaptability, and fearlessness in the present moment. Sometimes ESTPs can struggle with impulsiveness or thrill-seeking. Some, even if they're really unhealthy, can be reckless. Imagine driving down the highway with your music blaring in your car. You're scanning for things like opportunities of where to go, and you're kind of having fun. You're alert to every car, every lane change. That's really that sensation in action. Things are moving quickly, and you're noticing all the details, and you're noticing how things are interacting in the outside world. It's really important. It's what drives everything, and you're very confident there. Right next to the driver is the co-pilot. This co-pilot we've nicknamed accuracy. Right? This is where you are the strongest in that sensation and this accuracy. So if sensation is how you kind of look through the world, accuracy is going to be how you make decisions, really good decisions for yourself. It helps ESTPs slow down, analyze, and make logical sense of their world. Without it, you can just chase experiences, but this helps you refine the experiences that you're going after. It has some strengths, which are clear logic, problem solving, internal consistency, like how it thinks at a belief level, but there are some challenges. Sometimes this part of you gets a little nitpicky, or it could get detached under stress. Like if you're connected to people, but you're stressed, sometimes this can get really detached. Let's say you are an athlete reviewing your game footage, right? You're breaking down the technique frame by frame. You're after a game or something. Your action plus logic creates mastery. So you're looking through that and you're picking apart and you're calibrating maybe your gameplay after in post. You're saying, okay, I could have done that 5 degrees this way better, or I could have done this in a different fashion. And just think about that metaphor and apply it to all sorts of things in your life. Maybe you're not an athlete, maybe you're a scientist, or maybe you are a teacher. Like whatever profession you have or whatever you're involved in, you're going to use that accuracy part to refine the process, build competence, and make really good decisions from logical consistency. That's a superpower for you as an ESTP. There's some challenging news. Right behind them, behind the co-pilot, we have a 10-year-old. These are also important parts of you, but you're going to be less certain here in these parts. So let's talk about what that means. This is the feeling side of you. This 10-year-old seat cares about people, connections, and relationship. This cares about connecting with other people, the emotions of things, how humans are interacting with each other. It's all about relationships. ESTPs can read a room pretty quickly. Right? They've got that sensation. They can spot things in the real world. And they kind of have this part of them, this 10-year-old part of them that knows what's going on for other humans, the human dynamics that are in the room. But they might misjudge it because they're deeply uncertain here. We're going to talk about that in another video about this uncertainty. By the way, if this is resonating with you, put down in the comments what you experience as an ESTP around this. Do you sense that you tend to hand your power to other people, or you're uncertain in social environments? Sometimes you don't know what the rules are, or you're worried you might be breaking the rules. Leave a comment and let me know how you're interpreting this for yourself, because I think this is a pretty big part of you, and I bet you've got some experiences you could share with all of us. So the strengths of harmony is you've got charisma, you've got quick rapport building with other people, and it's pretty fun and social. Like usually ESTPs can be life of the party if they're really tuned into this part of themselves, and it's a really important part. Now there's some challenges here though. Often this can be a part of you that tends to be people-pleasing sometimes, or it can be shallow and approval-seeking just to avoid conflict. Maybe a hypothetical example of this could be at a party, an ESTP tells a joke, keeps the energy high, but later wonders if they really connected or maybe even offended somebody with some of their jokes. Did people really connect with me, or were they being nice? Were they being polite? It's hard for you to know. Sometimes you're uncertain how it actually landed with people. You have a pretty good sense of it, but you're not always certain about it. Now let's talk about the final part of your personality car model, which is this 3-year-old of perspectives. Now this is a 3-year-old part of you in metaphor, and it's something that's important, but you're not very certain here, and it's sometimes a blind spot for you. If this is being used at its highest level, like people that use this as a strength, it would be about focusing on patterns, long-term meanings and plans, and future consequences. Now ESTPs often struggle here because it can feel slow, abstract, or even possibly a little frightening, scary, or anxiety producing. Because remember, your driver is all about action right now. What can I do with direct action? This is like future planning. It's not direct action. It's inaction, ruminating and thinking about what could be, or what the meaning of something is, or what the probability of that thing working would be. So sometimes this can make you feel very uncertain. So the strengths, though, when developed, it adds foresight and strategic vision. But the challenges are in stress. It shows up as paranoia, dark future fantasies, or even overthinking sometimes. An ESTP who usually thrives on action might suddenly freeze, obsessing that a single mistake, could possibly be replicated down line years from now and cause disaster tomorrow or even way into the future. And so you start to, what could this possibly be? You have maybe paranoia or a certain type of projections in the future of fear or anxiety that you face. Clearly, this is not something you want to be handing over the control of your life to, but it is an important part of you, and it certainly can help ESTPs spot troubles before they happen, and it's an important part of your planning and tuning to the future. It's just not where you naturally want to go all the time. This car model map of your personality shows how your energy is structured. You drive with action with your sensation. You balance it with logic with your accuracy. You have this harmony for all the social skills and connection with people in your life. And then you've got perspectives when you have to think about the future or plan. But sometimes you can stumble there with that perspectives. So you can see why I keep saying ESTP is just a label, but this is the map. It's technically called cognitive functions. It's how your mind learns information and makes decisions. Once you have this map, you can navigate life with a lot more clarity, confidence, and purpose. I'm Joel Mark Witt for Personality Hacker. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to this channel and you can get more ESTP videos. Check out our ESTP Owner's Manual at personalityhacker.com. You can click the link here or just go directly to that website. This Owner's Manual helps you with your personality. It goes deeper into what I talked about here. Got rich media, video, audios for you to be able to set up a life that's ergonomic for you. So I want you to go check that out and let me know what you think and watch the next video. I'm going to put up a next video right now, and I want you to watch this to continue your learning for the ESTP personality type. Peace.